see some heartbreaking cases on Paternity Court. Get ready for some tearjerkers, folks. We've got a young woman named Nikki Moore who's been searching her whole life for the answer to the big question. Who's her daddy? Sounds like a rough childhood for poor Nikki.
Ms. Moore.
Yes.
You claim that you've lived your entire life asking the question, who is my dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
You say that during your childhood, your mother, Ms. Nelson, told you she had no idea.
Yes.
After years of heartache, you've located one potential father whom you've asked to be tested by the court today.
Yes.
Nikki tells the judge that she grew up seeing her friends talk about their dads, while she was left wondering why her mom couldn't or wouldn't tell her who hers was. And on top of that, Nikki had to take on a lot of responsibility, helping to raise her siblings instead of just being a kid herself.
But that's not right, because I have told her that that was the last-ditch effort, because I have told her that I had 3 others tested and we had a swab test done, and Greg Wright was the last-ditch effort because I was saving her because I did not want her.
So it's not the last hope, but it is the last-ditch effort.
That's the last one. That's the last one that I have.
Michelle, Nikki's mom, admits that she also grew up without a father, so she can understand how tough it's been for her daughter. But she claims she didn't keep the identity of Nikki's dad a secret on purpose. She just didn't know for sure who it was. Apparently, Michelle was a bit of a wild child back in the day, and there were a few potential fathers in the mix.
First, I want to understand more about your childhood, because you're saying that your entire life it was told to you by your mother that she just had no idea who your father was.
Well, Your Honor, during my childhood growing up, it was rough. You know, we've changed. We've never had a stable place, you know. I had changed schools like 5 to 6 different times.
Finally, Michelle gave Nikki the name of one last possible dad, a fella named Greg Wright. Nikki was determined to track him down, even dropping out of school to do it. And when she did find Greg, he seemed pretty excited about the prospect of being her father, even though he was told years ago that he couldn't have kids.
More than a sister to
Ms.
them.
Moore,
That's the only time.
It's your contention that life without a father proved to be extremely difficult for you.
Yes.
I grew up without a father and I did fine.
Ms. Nelson, you're saying that you also grew up without a father.
I grew up not knowing my parents. I vaguely, at 8 years old, knew my mom, just vaguely. And I don't know who my father is. Yes, it has been hard, but I learned to deal with it.
But of course, the answers Nikki wants can only be found in one place, the envelope that Judge Lake is about to receive. The DNA test results are in, and it's time for this decades-long mystery to finally be solved.
Mr. Wright is not your biological father.
I'm sorry. I gave you all. That's the last one I have. There has to be more. Is it?
In this situation, Mr. Watson wanted nothing more than to get married to his fiancée. The only problem was that he claimed his fiancée was sleeping with 2 different men, making him believe that he might not be the father of their 4-year-old son. He opened his case to the judge like this.
Mr. Watson, you are in court to prove that you are not the biological father of the defendant's 4-year-old son, Kevin. You say that while you were away, Ms. Mahoney was having sexual relationships with 2 different men, and either of them could be the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
For his sake and the hope of saving their relationship, let's hope the results come out in his favor. His fiancée, Ms. Mahoney, got very emotional when she was asked how the whole situation was affecting her and her child. Mr. Watson, on the other hand, was not bothered by any of that. All he wanted was to know if he was the father of the child.
Paternity doubt affecting your child.
Hard. He takes it hard. He looks up to him a lot. Sometimes he gets real short-tempered with him, and he just like he'll sit by him and he'll move away, and it's hard as a mother to see that.
And Kevin's 4, so he understands this rejection.
Yeah, it takes him really hard. He's sheltered now.
Oh, wow. Did he just refer to his supposed fiancée as that? Now I'm starting to have doubts if he really wants to tie the knot with Ms. Mahoney. Mr. Watson went on to explain to the judge how he found out his wife was messing around with other men. Trust me, it was a juicy story, but Ms. Mahoney claimed the men he was talking about were family friends.
Taking care of her. Now, me as a man personally, I'm not gonna do that for no woman.
Being a man, though, you should have left me.
I never left.
Ms. Mahoney, did you have 2 men living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
You did?
I had no job. I had nothing to fend for myself. They were close family friends, and they just wanted to help me help them. I agreed to let them stay, and if I needed some toilet paper down, anything.
The family friend said, "Yes, Ms. Mahoney, what have you really been up to?" Now, Mr. Watson and Ms. Mahoney get into a heated argument about the other man claiming to be the father of the child. Mr. Watson claimed the other man was calling his son his child, but Ms. Mahoney denied the claims, saying this.
There's a difference between a father and a dad. Just to know that.
What you mean? He the one talking about that. That's his kid.
He provided for him.
Okay, I was away. I couldn't.
When I called you and he was hungry, then what?
I was away. There was nothing I could do.
Like I said, there's a difference between being a father
okay, so
and
if he was my kid, so bring other men around my kid?
That's a fair point. You can't control someone else's feelings, but you can most definitely control their presence in your house. In trying to bail herself out of the situation, she told the judge that the other guy in question wanted to ruin their relationship, so he told Mr. Watson that they slept with each other.
Why would a guy say to you?
I believe he probably does love me, but I don't love him and I needed help and all he wanted was a room, and that's all.
But why would he say you were having sex with him if you weren't?
Because he knows that if he were to tell him that he's gonna walk out and he's gonna leave me, and that's what happened.
So you're saying he's just saying that to break you apart?
And I'll be crying, upset, and he'll try to...
Oh, so Mr. Watson wasn't in the good books either. That explains why she felt very hurt by the situation. Still very hurt by the whole situation, she dropped a truth bomb in the courtroom claiming that they had a DNA test done before, and the results showed Mr. Watson as the father.
So I went and we got DNA.
You took a DNA test?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
I went and was on government assistance and child support. We had to comply with them. And they asked me who the father was. I told them who he was. And he ran from all the things. And finally they found him and had him go up there and take the DNA.
What did the DNA test say?
99.9%.
Now that just adds more drama to the entire case. Could the papers really have been forged? Who knows? Anyway, Judge Lauren decided to drill Ms. Mahoney a little by asking her if she was 100% certain that Mr. Watson was the father of her child and that she wasn't sleeping with anyone else. This was her answer.
Here.
Is there something you have not said? Is there another man that could potentially be Kevin's biological father?
No, ma'am. And
Are there any other men?
No, ma'am. We have broken up and I've had other, relationships with men, but never around when I got pregnant.
Well, Ms. Mahoney and Mr. Watson have a lot on the line, and there's no denying that. Without wasting any time, Judge Lauren felt it was time to reveal the results in the envelope. Has Ms. Mahoney been lying all this while? Let's find out.
Mr. Watson, you are the father.
See? I love you. I love you so much.
I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
I love you so much.
I love you. I'm sorry, baby.
I know. It's okay.
It's okay.
This was unlike any case Judge Lauren had ever seen before. Ms. Osborne claimed that her mother hid the identity of her father without giving any tangible reason for doing so. She was in court with her aunt to find out the real identity of her father. The case began with Ms. Osborne saying,
Ms. Osborne, you have brought your mother to court because you claim she lied to you about the identity of your biological father. You are here to prove Billy Jack Fitzmaurice is your dad. You and your aunt petitioned the court for paternity tests to finally prove the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, tell me why any mother would do that to their child. I would have lost my mind if I were to be in Ms. Osborne's shoes. When her mom broke the mind-blowing news to her, she ran to her aunt immediately and asked her if her mother was telling the truth.
Savannah was very upset because she thought that Billy, my brother, was not her father, and I assured her that I believe 100% that Billy is her father.
You've never had a doubt?
I've never had a doubt.
So until you were 12 years old, Ms. Osborne, you were told this was your father?
Yes,
You even lived with his family?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are looking for the worst mom on earth, Ms. Osborne's mom fits that description without breaking a sweat. Since she claimed that she never argued with the family or tried to change her daughter's mind, then who has been playing the role of the father all this while?
For 12 years, who were you saying was her biological father?
I didn't say who was her father.
But she's living with his family.
Yes, and at the time, his family took her in. I was young, and I knew that they would have a good life for her. and they stepped up and asked to take her, and I knew that they could provide a better life for her at that time because I was young and naive and stupid.
Now that is one confession Ms. Osborne is never going to forget. With the look on her face, you could tell she felt betrayed by her mother. And if we are being honest, you really can't blame her for feeling that way. She was furious that she had to wait so long to find out the truth about her real father.
Because I just want to know the truth of who my father is. I shouldn't have to wait until I was 12 years old to figure this out. I should have known that there was not a possibility before I grew attached to my father and grew a bond with my whole family.
Your mom kind of dropped a bomb on you at 12 years old. Wow. I mean, when you hear that, and you had to live with this now for 8 years. You're 20 now.
8 years now.
At least the judge got her to look at her mother because it was starting to feel like she was never going to. Ms. Osborne faced her mother. She decided to tell her how she really felt growing up, not knowing her father's real identity. This was how that boat sailed.
I was confused. I was 12 years old. I was raised around my dad's family for 12 years. And then all of a sudden, they could be just some strangers that I'm living with.
They will never be strangers.
Of course they won't. They'll always be my family now. But what if they never were?
I'm sorry, I truly am, but I'm here today to try to make it right for you. So you will know 100% if he's your father.
Isn't that just beautiful to listen to? Her mother actually felt bad for keeping such a huge secret from her. Ms. Osborne's mom was not the only one who got emotional about the whole situation. Her aunt also felt very sad when her mom told her she never wanted to hurt her.
You have tears in your eyes as you stand next to the young woman you believe is your niece.
Yes, Savannah is my niece, and I love her dearly. And we were always told from day one from Donna that Savannah was our I call her our baby, but our niece. The way we met Donna was under difficult circumstances. My brother, he had a wild life.
Well, he isn't here to defend himself, but Ms. Osborne's mom told the judge that she never for once told the man they believed was the biological father that he was actually her father. She claimed that he took it upon himself and assumed that Ms. Osborne was his daughter.
Billy Jack is the one that took it upon himself to assume that Savannah was his when I told him I was pregnant. I had told both men that I was pregnant, and they took it upon themselves to believe if they was the father or not.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is true.
She told me as well that Savannah was my brother's daughter.
Those words never came out of my mouth.
Yes, they did.
If there is one thing you can appreciate about her mother, it's the fact that she is a very honest woman. The judge then asked Ms. Osborne if she had ever met the man her mom claimed to be her real dad. This was the reply she gave to the judge.
I do not have a connection with him whatsoever. He is the father of my sister and my brothers, but I wouldn't want that to be my father. I want Billy to be my father because that's who I have always known to be my father. And it's gonna really hurt if it's otherwise.
So your sister, you say it was fathered by the other man.
That's what I was told, but I also believe that my dad is her dad.
Unlike Ms. Osborne, her sister believed that the other guy was her father. She claimed that she had never met the man Ms. Osborne believed to be her father. And for that reason alone, there was no way she could believe he could be her father.
I believe that the other guy is my father because, I mean, I've never met Billy Jack. I've never even seen him. I've just heard stories of his crimes and crazy lifestyle. I have a connection, a relationship with my father or the other guy and and his family, yeah.
Who do you believe Savannah's biological father is?
I'm not sure.
Well, with all the similarities going on and the situation of both ladies having different fathers, I think it's time we see what the DNA results have to say about the whole situation. I hope you're ready because here it comes.
Ms. Brooks and Jasmine are not related. Ms. Brooke and Savannah are related.
I love you, Savannah, so much. And I'm so happy that it came out the way you wanted it. And I love you, Jasmine.
So Mercedes believed her father was Walter Henderson, but at 15, a man named William Rycraw claimed to be her real dad. Mercedes is desperate to finally get the truth, while William is certain that he is her biological father. Things are about to get messy, and Mercedes is clearly feeling the weight of this lifelong search on her shoulders.
Ms. Henderson, you claim that you believed Mr. Henderson was your biological father, but at the age of 15, Mr. Rycraw claimed he is your dad. You are doubtful and have opened today's case to get the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Rycrawl, you say you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Ms. Henderson is your daughter.
When the judge asks Mercedes how life has been without knowing her father, the poor woman breaks down. She talks about how lonely it's been, and how her own kids are eager to meet their grandparents. You can see the pain in her eyes as she expresses her desire to finally have that connection, to be close to someone.
When we met, I mean, I just felt it. I just felt that she was my daughter.
And then just to know that my sister's resting in her grave and that my niece needs to know who her family really is. I mean, I just need to know too for sure so she can get a peace of mind so we can all move on. But the point is, either way it go.
William then steps up, claiming that he is absolutely certain Mercedes is his daughter. He talks about the connection he felt when they first met and how he knows in his heart that she's his. He also mentions that his sister, Mercedes' mother, has now passed away, and he wants Mercedes to know the truth about her family.
Mr. Henderson, this is who you grew up knowing was your father.
Yes, and during the time that I stayed there, I was treated different from my sisters. They used to tell me that I wasn't their uncle's daughter, that I was adopted.
Yeah, Anna, can I go over there for a minute?
So,
would you like to go?
Yes, I would.
So I asked her. I asked him too. I said, "Daddy, are you my daddy?" And he told me that he was like, "I'm the only daddy you got."
Mercedes then takes the stand, and it's clear she's still not convinced. She explains that she's always had doubts about her paternity, even as a child, and that her mother gave her different names of potential fathers over the years.
When she came back about a month or two, my other daughter told me that my mom was pregnant.
And so when you find that out, you assume she cheated, or you assume this is my baby? She was pregnant before she left.
Well, Your Honor, actually, when I talked to her, I told her, if it's the girl, it's ours. It's the boy, you gotta go.
The plot thickens when Mercedes' aunt, William's sister, takes the stand. She reveals that Mercedes' mother and William had been having an affair, and that's why the paternity was kept a secret for so long.
So I don't know what to believe right now.
And so what happened when you met him? You said you went to go see him? What happened?
I did, and I thought I looked like him.